Hey everybody, I'm back. As you can see, I don't give up. The camera, I wasn't smart enough to have it charged while I was doing this. I had too much faith in the battery, and so it's professional equipment. It takes a lot of energy, and I'm halfway around the world, or a quarter way around the world in France. So it shut off. But I think we made a lot of progress in the first video, so I'm not going to recover that ground. I'm going to basically do this as part two. So the topic for those who are watching is the road less traveled, the road to success, and basically I'm going to add on to this to set yourself free. And I'm John Hope Bryant. I'm the founder, chairman, CEO of Operation Hope and Bryant Group Ventures. Hey, Herschel Barnes, nice to see you. I think you're signing back in. And the author of 3 books. I'm writing the 4th. There's 2 bestsellers, How the Poor Can Save Capitalism. Ebony says I'm back. Ebony Young. How the Poor Can Save Capitalism, Rebuilding the Path of the Middle Class. And for those who say, why should I want to save capitalism? Then you're really lost, because if you have a job, you're a capitalist. If you have a barber, that barber's a capitalist. If you go get your nails done, I'm an inspiration, Jacqueline. Thank you. You're an inspiration too, Jacqueline. Thank you. Well, it takes one to know one. If you have somebody doing your nails, back from Indianapolis, Kanita Wilson. If somebody's doing your nails, that person doing your nails is a capitalist. If your mother, your father has a job, they are a capitalist. Thanks for all you do, Ken Johnson. Thank you. And by the way, everybody here, make sure you access the free services of Operation Hope. We're opening an office a week on average, and all these services are free. So it's not just me running my mouth. It's not just about being a PhD. It's about being a PhD too, and that's the civil rights movement. I need this advice today. That's Larry Thomas. Fantastic. Thank you, Larry. And this was frankly inspired in part by some people criticizing me earlier. I actually like criticism. It makes me think. It keeps me from being lazy. I just like constructive criticism. Destructive criticism people can have. I don't have any self-esteem problem. I'm not lost. Not unsure about what I want to do. And whatever I've been doing has been working for me. So I keep telling folks I like what I'm doing much better than what you're not doing. Okay? People won't give you advice and they ain't done nothing themselves. Amen. Never made a payroll. Won't tell you how to make a payroll. I make a payroll about $350,000 every 2 weeks. I've got to raise $100,000 a day. And my speeches, when I agree to do them, when I get paid, are $25,000 for 45 minutes. As you know, I give you guys several hours a week for free. This is my give back is my, hey, Rakita, my cousin, it's my investment in you, because I believe in America. I believe in you. I believe in the world, not just America. And I believe that poor people and struggling middle class folks of all races can help set us free again. Love you, bro. That's Gunther. I love you too. We got to start saying that more, by the way. I love you. We got to start saying, I love you more. That's part of what this message is about. Only people like you narrow the racial divide and reduce racism. That's Robert Mullins. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. And by the way, I do that by calling everybody out, right? Including myself. We're all biased. We all discriminate, right? Hopefully we're not racist. And anybody who thinks I'm learning a lot from you, thank you. Thank you. I learned a lot from you too. People think that, oh, racism, you got to be white. You do not have to be white to be racist. Racism is a sickness. It is hate based on race. So you can be white and racist. You can be black and racist. You can be Latino and racist. You can be Arab and racist. You can be Indian and Asian and racist. So you don't want to respond to hate with hate. I love you, Sandra, back. So this is the road less traveled. If you didn't watch part 1, finish watching this. I'm using Operation Hope as we speak. The representative Megan in Atlanta is awesome. Fantastic, Derek. Give Megan my best. It's evening where I am here. It's day there. You're an inspiration. That's Denise Love. I moved from Michigan to North Carolina, not really having a job in my field lined up. Long story short, I kept hearing you say, if you don't have a job, make one. And I think she just said she made one. That's fantastic. Damien, my cousin through marriage, it says racism is an illness. Pray for people's minds. Absolutely, it's a sickness, and you don't want to get sick too. So don't get with it. Don't bring it in your life. It may jump on you. I asked a guy who was part of the Klan one day, and this is all a part about the road less traveled. By the way, same topic. This is back in South Central LA. I love you, cousin, more than you know. Rakita, I love you back, even though we don't see each other as much as we should. Organize a family reunion, by the way. I'll host it. It's an issue of the mind. Chris Gordon says, indeed, some people are racist against their own. Yeah, or just, yeah, but their own. We're all, the human race, when we're racist against, if you're black against racist against white or white against black, you are being racist against your own because we're all God's children. He didn't spit out a black person and spit out a white person, a Latino person. He spit out one person that was originally from Africa, and we all emerged from that person. And that doesn't mean that Africans are superior, by the way. That's ridiculous. We're all the same one. We evolved skin color and all that stuff based on where we were in the world and the sun's proximity to us over over 100,000 years defined how you look. Did another video on that. You can watch that on why racism is scientifically stupid. But this, I really want you to, people watch my videos and sometimes they get upset with me because I say something that's not popular. Like earlier today when I said that it was racist and hateful for these young black men to attack this white 84-year-old grandma, beat her up at 2:30 in the morning. They knew her, by the way, so it wasn't some accidental situation. They knew who she was. They beat her up in the middle of the night, punks, chumps, not even men, just punks. They didn't pick on a big burly white dude who could defend themselves. They went to a little helpless grandma. Four dudes, two black dudes, two black women, beat up this 84-year-old white grandma and set her on fire, broke every bone in her body, set her on fire. And then I said that's hate-filled and that's racist. And I only said that because the police actually said it was a hate crime. And some people, we can't be racist and we just get, all that's just stupid. Just get off my page. Like, if that was a black woman attacked by two white men and two white girls, and they knew her, and they knew her situation, and they did that to her, we'd be picketing all up and down the street, right? So don't give me that madness. Fair exchange is no robbery, right? Wrong is wrong and right is right. And you cannot take the moral high ground. Respect to all grandmoms. That's right, Roxanne. You can't take the moral high ground when history and justice is only good enough for you. You can't. And minority groups have to take the moral high ground. That's what made Dr. King brilliant. That's what made Mother Teresa brilliant. That's what made Gandhi and Nelson Mandela and Dr. Dorothy Height and all the heroes and sheroes you respect. They all took the moral high ground. When you're outnumbered, you've got to take the moral high ground. What did Michelle Obama said? When they go low, you got to go high. That's disgusting. Preying on the vulnerable no better than the oppressors. That is correct, Chris. Okay, so let's get back to the positive for a moment. Not if those on the other side could call our out wrongful individuals, we all be a lot better. Ms. Knox, I'm not quite sure of the comment. You were stepping in King's footprint. Carl said, I don't know about that, but I'm trying to do my part to continue his legacy, Andrew Young's legacy, John Lewis's legacy, Dr. Dorothy Height's legacy, a white man and a black man that worked together to make the world better after the Civil War and after slavery, which was Abraham Lincoln, who created the Freedmen's Bank, and Frederick Douglass. So yeah, I'm trying to do my part, but you're doing your part too. Back to the story. Audrey says a life was taken. There's no excuse for guardians of color. Boom. That's it, right? And then you got the moral high ground. But if you say, no, that don't matter because we're getting shot in the street, then you're done. Nobody cares about you because you don't care about them. And fair exchange is no robbery, and whatever goes around comes around. And if you're a hater, by the way, you're not hurting the person you're hating. You're only killing yourself. Hurt people, but the person you're mostly hurting is yourself. You're killing yourself. And nobody even wants to hang around you. Nobody wants to hang around your negative ass. Nobody wants to hang around your hate-filled ass. Even you don't like you. Back to the positive story. Terrence says true. The road less traveled. So first of all, pick up the book, The Road Less Traveled. But basically, if everybody's going to the club, maybe you should go stay at home and read a book. If everybody's going to, I don't know, Jamaica for vacation, maybe you should go to Mexico or, I don't know, Puerto Rico or Turks and Caicos. I don't know. But go someplace different. Experience something different. If everybody is dropping out of school, maybe you should drop in. If everybody thinks that, if everybody you know who's white thinks that black people are ignorant, then they ain't going to heaven, by the way. Maybe you should have a more curious perspective and go meet some people you don't know who happen to be black. I think you'd be amazed at what you find, and I think they will enrich your life because black folks are basically spiritual people. We forgive everybody for everything. It'll make you better. And by the way, we can give you some spirituality and some good music and some good food, and you can help us understand whatever it is you're specializing in, whether it's engineering or I'm gonna do a whole nother video about how people evolved and how some people have better right brain skills, which are creative, and some people have other left brain skills, which are more analytical and capitalism and all that. It doesn't make anybody better. Just those are just different talents, right? And we need to trade those talents, which is why I'm in Chamonix, France, this little town. Good morning, John. My ministry spoke on what the world needs now is love. That's Susan. Boom. So I'm in this little town. I don't know, it can't be more than 4,000 people. But I'm here because some of the most powerful, richest people in the world are here, and they invited me to speak. And I want us to win in the suites, not just in the streets. I want us to win on class and poverty, not race and the color line. In fact, I want everybody to win because, how am I, John, Esther? I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. And so I traveled here, and it's a beautiful place. And when you come here, you meet all these great people. There's not many. I mean, there's so few people of color I can count them. But the people you meet are so fantastic. You walk away thinking differently about what you think you knew about, in this case, white Europeans. You go, these people are nicer than people on my block, right? Wherever it is you live. But you'll find that if you go to Spain and you're dealing with people of Hispanic descent, or if you go to Mexico, right? Or if you go to South Africa, or you go to Rwanda. Oh my God, they're so nice in Rwanda. Like the safest city in the world is Kigali, Rwanda, and smart people. The city is safe, and people are smart. Not what you think Africans would be like based on perceptions. Wise man told me if I see large groups of people going in one direction, I should seriously consider going the other. Boom, right? So the road less traveled. So look at what's going on TV right now. We're rioting. Nobody ever succeeded based on rioting. There's never been a terrorist group, and people who were rioting and tearing up stuff after the peaceful protesters left. The rioters and those who are shooting people in malls, these are terrorists. Call it what it is. These are terrorists, right? Irrespective of what they look like. And there's not been a terrorist group in the history of the world that ever succeeded at their aim, overthrowing the government, overthrowing the city. It's never succeeded in the history of the world. Only love succeeds. Only love, because the universe is made for good. So when the universe is made for good and you're about love and you've got righteousness on your side and you really work hard and play by the rules, you've got the universe behind you, pushing you. So somebody would say, well, what about Dr. King? He got killed. Yeah, but does he live on today? Does his philosophy live on? Does his work live on? There's no plan. Kanita said, absolutely. We need a business plan. You need a business plan for your life. That's why my quote a few days ago, most people didn't understand it, was what's the business plan for the race, whether it's black people or white people or whoever it is. What's your business plan? Everybody needs it. Your household needs a business plan, and it can't be emotional. You can't be emotional for a living. You can't be angry for a living. And I'll tell you something else. I did a whole video on this called Beyond Racism. Only love succeeds. Damien, exactly. I did a whole video. There's something worse than racism. Something worse than hate. It's indifference. When nobody cares enough about you to hate you. And that's coming. And this is another reason, hello, Villan, I believe it is, Kingpin Villan. This is another reason I tell you, not only does rioting not work, and nonstop picketing and nonstop name calling and nonstop everybody is the devil and nonstop all white people are evil and nonstop all police are evil. Not only does that not work, and is not logical, because there's somebody in your family who's a police officer. Go to your extended family. Somebody's in law enforcement. Are they the devil? Or are they the exception because they're related to you? See, it doesn't even make any sense, right? Or 5 or 8 or 10% of police officers bad? I'd think it's not 20%. Yeah, they're bad. We're going to write them out, put them in jail, but write a letter report their badge number. I got people fired writing letters, right? I didn't have to hit you with a brick, hit you with my wallet, knock you out. Hit you with my pen and my piece of paper, knock you out. We don't write letters anymore. We don't complain. We picket, we protest, we throw rocks, we hurl insults. Does that work? Is that working? Or do people just sort of turn you off and tune you out? Let me ask you another question. All these rich people that I'm seeing here in Chamonix, you think they want to invest in you if your brand is about protesting and hate, and you hate all white people, and you think that everybody's the devil, and you think the world's set against you? If that's your brand, if you happen to be black, you think they want to invest in you? You think they want to hire you? Think they want to let madness in their front door? No. I don't want it in my office. you got to understand what you're selling. You're selling you. You're a brand, right? But also, it just doesn't work. So if that's not working, and insanity, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. If my poor white friends in rural Alabama or rural Mississippi, that town's been dying for 60 years, well before Mexicans got here, well before immigration became of new immigrants, because we're all immigrants, became an issue, then why now are Latinos your problem? Why now are blacks your problem? That town's been dying for 60 years economically. Maybe you should focus on reestablishing the economy of that town, resetting the economy of that town. Maybe it's your own depression that's really driving your fear of others and your hatred. And by the way, I'm picking on everybody. Angry white people, angry black people, indifferent rich people. It's, disconnected black middle class folks who don't want to go mentor and role model in their own neighborhoods and communities. I'm an equal opportunity tonight biased player. I'm being biased against anybody who's not leaning their shoulder against the wheel of change and trying to make a difference and being about what you're for, not what you're against. Everybody's an expert in what they are against. They'll tell you what they don't like. What are you for? Is the glass half full or is it half empty? Don't be disrespectful. Exactly, Vance. If the glass of your life is half empty, people around you think the world is coming to an end. They're all disrespectful. They think the whole world's negative. Run. Get away from those people. They're depressing. They're going to depress you and they're going to drive you down. You hang around eight broke people, you'll be the ninth. You hang around 9 broke people, I guarantee you'll be the 10th. You want to find people who see the glass as half full, not half. It's the same glass, but thoughts are things. And whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're right. Repeat, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're right. So this is about thinking differently, resetting the software, mental software in your mind. Look, if you are a minority, you've been oppressed, you've been disrespected, you've been depressed, you are depressed probably, you've been biased against. So now, whenever you see a nail, you want to take a hammer and hit it. No. Now you're absolutely confirmed you're going to be depressed and a failure all your life. You got to give everybody you meet a chance. You just met a bad police officer. You got to assume the next police officer is going to be good, or you're done. Or you're gonna be defensive and you're gonna create a negative situation where one maybe didn't exist. Because that officer wants to go to bed to home to their family tonight. And if they think you are the threat, they're gonna respond in a threatening way. That could be a good officer that you just turned negative because your attitude was already defensive. If you think that all people are racist, you're not gonna get a job. No one's gonna respond positively to your job application, to your job interview, because they can feel your energy. There's so many examples. I may have to do this, cut this up into mini series, this whole thing about the road less traveled. But this is a big key to your life. If everybody's protesting, maybe you should be partnering. And by the way, we need protests. We do. But everybody shouldn't be protesting, and we shouldn't be doing it all the time. Okay? There's a reason to be angry occasionally for a minute. But let it go. And then grab a hold of hope and love, because those are the only thing that's going to set you free, because hope and love is God. I've talked about traveling. I've talked about rioting. I've talked about whites against blacks and blacks against white, and I hope I've covered all of the pedigrees so that nobody says I'm biased one way or another. If you continue in a positive way without wanting in return, this is Mark Lath, to fill your own spirit, then the glass is neither half full nor half empty. I think he was basically saying it's just who you are. I agree with that. You probably just need a nationally syndicated talk show, John. That's Damien. I'm not an entertainer, by the way. I'm a CEO. I'm an entrepreneur. And I just, I do this because you think it's helpful to you. Otherwise, when you stop thinking it's helpful, I'll stop doing it. I said, I think in the last video, just to give you some context, so nobody thinks I'm selling books or selling, by the way, this is free. People charge a lot of money for this. Tony Robbins, all these guys, they charge a lot of money for what I'm giving you for free. It's $45,000 for international speech, $25,000 for come to New York City, I will, Vince, for a domestic speech. When I agree to do it, I'm really a CEO. I've got to raise $100,000 a day just for my nonprofit. My payroll is almost $400,000 every 2 weeks. I've been meeting payroll for 25 years. I've been a businessman since I was 10 years old, right? When I put the liquor store out of the candy business. And so I've got, 250 employees, 30,000 volunteers. I've got one nonprofit in 74 countries. Basically, my phone rings 24/7. But I come at you 3 times a week because I made a promise to you and because I believe we're living in a moment in history. And I believe that a small group of people with the right mindset can change the world. And I believe that that's you. And I believe that God gave me gifts and I've got to share them. And so I'm pouring into you, and I don't expect everybody to agree with me. I don't expect you to even like what I'm saying because in many ways you got to reject everything around you to embrace what I'm saying. But that don't mean I'm wrong. And I may not be wrong, but I may not be right, but I dang sure ain't wrong. Because you know why I know that? Because nothing's working in our neighborhoods. Nothing's working in our city. Nothing's working in our country. Nothing that's important. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. You're angry. Is that working for you? We're protesting every day. Is that working for you? We think that everybody around us is against us. Is that working for you? I don't think so. Is it helping getting a job? No. We appreciate everything you bring to us. It's Audrey. Thank you. Is it helping you get somebody to invest in your business? I don't think so. Is it helping you get a promotion when you think your boss is the devil? I don't think so. They can feel your energy. Love you, brother, and thank you. That's Todd Rogers. I love you back. Look, everything I'm saying is common sense. I dare somebody to dispute what I'm saying. They can call me all kind of names. I don't even repeat some of the things people say to me. But they're not talking about me. They're talking about themselves. You don't know me. How you know me to talk? I'm upsetting your whole apple cart. That's what's up. That's what's happening. I'm shaking everything that you thought you knew about your life, your reason to be angry, your reason to be a victim, your reason to hate this person or that person or this group or that group, right? And this dude running for president, whose name I won't mention, is playing on all of that. He's got a support base that is just angry and fearful, and he won't even go to dinner with the people who are supporting him. That's how much he disrespects them. He has no interest in them. He's about himself. He's just playing on their fears. And if they were doing well economically, they would not even need him. He's just a vessel. He's just a moment in time. He's not even important, right? But what makes me really hurt is that intelligent people and some minorities for whom he really has no interest in are actually saying, maybe we should support this guy. Are you out of your mind? Are you crazy? He means you. He will destroy America. He's dangerous. He's not Hitler because he's not that smart, but he's dangerous, period. And he's a liar. He lies to your face. And he banks on the fact that we don't do any research, we don't read, we just go on sound bites and we turn into the entertainment generation. So I love you enough to come to you straight and talk to you straight. When am I coming to Indianapolis? Keith, I'll come when you invite me. So send a message to my office, have your mayor or your chamber of commerce or whoever invite me, and I'll try to show up. It's all about money, it's Anita. Well, the world is based on money. And that's the memo I'm trying to deliver to you. That doesn't mean it's a heartless world. That means that, you go to work for money. Does that make you heartless? The lady does your nails for money. Does that make her heartless? I know you weren't saying that, by the way. I'm just playing on this point. The postal worker delivers mail, getting an egoism is exponentially expressed. It's Chris. Him, exactly. The mailman delivers your mail. He gets a paycheck, or she. Does that make them heartless? I mean, we're all capitalists. Even the parking meter outside of your job, an inanimate object, to quote my friend Rod McGrew, is a capitalist. But we haven't figured that out. We don't realize that capitalism is all around us. We never got the memo. We just want to get angry because it's not working for us. People say, I hate rich people. Again, road less traveled. No, you don't. You hate rich people until you become rich. And then you like rich people because now you're one of them. Oh, but I'm a different kind of rich person. Really? Come on now. And maybe you are. But are you now saying that all other rich people are evil? See, the logic just doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense, right? So all I'm doing is holding up a mirror. And somebody's going to say, well, does he think he's perfect? Me. Absolutely not. I love my imperfections. Oh my God, I love that I'm imperfect, right? Because I can relax because I'm not trying to be something I'm not. A saint is a sinner that got up. My sins allow me to relate to those who are sinful. And then we can find some common ground because no one's perfect. Oh, we beating up on this other person running for president who's a woman. We're beating her up because she's not perfect. Okay, you perfect? I'll wait. Oh, who are you going to tell me who's perfect? I'll wait. Oh, we don't hate him. We hate America. Okay, go someplace else. That's perfect. I'll wait. Nobody's leaving, right? And stop beating up on the lady, right? I mean, is she perfect? No, she's not perfect. Is she a good person? I can tell you first rate, she's a good person. You know, one of the reasons that she's getting beat up, and by the way, I've advised Republican presidents, I've advised Democratic presidents. I have advised them for 15 plus years. I've been recognized by five presidents I can count. I think I'm in a great position as somebody who doesn't get partisan to tell you there is only one vote this election season. You cannot vote for the other person. And this other person that's running, that not the bad person, was president before. They were president before because they were married to the person who was president, and that was a great administration. Was it a perfect administration? Somebody's gonna say, "Oh, what about that?" No, it wasn't. We hate all our presidents, by the way. We hate them before they're president, when they're president. We love them before and we love them after, right? We kill some of them. So look, stop trying to get somebody to be perfect. This lady's got 2 scandals. Email, no charges against her. Foundation, no charges against them. Smoke and mirrors. On the email, no charges against them. FBI said you're cool. On the foundation, I'm a member of this foundation. I've been there for 12 years. Somebody saying that I'm a crook? I mean, and they raise money. Do people want influence? I'm going to do a whole video on this. Of course they want influence. I mean, a blind man can see that. But was the influence used to help 500 million poor people versus putting money in their pocket? Absolutely. Was there any fact that somebody put their money in their pocket? No. That the influence created some ill-gotten gain? No. But that's the only thing people can complain about, so they complain about that not endlessly. The other person, you complain about that person every 29 seconds because there's always a new scandal, so nothing sticks. Be smart. Think for yourself. Take the road less traveled. When folks are going here, I want you to go here. When folks are going here, I want you to go here. Because that's where the money's being hidden. That's where the wealth is being hidden, right? During the Civil Rights Movement, my last example, Civil Rights Movement, we focus on the Ku Klux Klan. We're still focused on the Ku Klux Klan. But go a little deeper. The Ku Klux Klan, poor, uneducated whites who, by the way, that was not a negative. I'm not jamming up poor, uneducated whites. That's like saying that my father had an 8th grade education. He was a poor, uneducated black. That's not a diss. That's a fact. That they were frustrated and they were used, like they're being used today, by the White Citizens Council, who were business people who were afraid that black were the majority in those small towns and would ultimately take over the politics and the business, and the money would run them out of town, which was not true. But they were fearful of that, and they whispered in the ears of poor whites, they want to marry your daughter, they want to own your business, they want to take your stuff, go get them. And poor uneducated whites put robes on, designer robes with holes in them, went after uneducated blacks, and we've been mixing it up, fighting each other for 70 years in recent history. That actually goes back to the 1800s. Meanwhile, folks with real money are stealing it in broad daylight in front of you, and we don't notice it. Today, while we're talking about police brutality and all this other stuff that matters, right? It doesn't matter. But while we're obsessing about only that, and a guy talking about either won't sit down or won't stand up with a flag with a football game. There's so many stories about this guy. All this stuff. Meanwhile, you're being robbed in broad daylight in your neighborhood. A check casher next to a payday loan lender, next to a rent-to-own store, next to a title lender, next to a liquor store. A guy getting a $300 payday loan and being asked to pay it back $1,300 6 weeks later. Doing it in broad daylight and giving you a piece of paper that said 651% interest rate. Nothing but, it's right, that's right, Terrence, nothing but distraction. They're building a $1 billion stadium in Atlanta, and you can buy a $15,000 home a mile from the stadium, and we don't do it. Buy it, fix it up, and sell it. No, we want to go overpay for some mini mansion out in the suburbs when the people in the suburbs are moving back in the hood and buying that $15,000 home, rehabbing it, and turning that neighborhood into a new Paris. See what I'm saying? Don't get mad. Live well. Get even. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Black folks don't get mad. White folks don't get mad. Latinos, Asians, we're all God's children. See? We need to get the memo. And that's enough for now. Hey, Marcus, thank you. My mother always said, hello, Juanita Smith. You never want to be the old guy in the club. So before you kick me out, I'm leaving. Unbought, unbossed, unbiased, nonpartisan. This is the Get It Done party. It matters. You do too. Thank you, Zanita. Coming to you straight and no chaser with the civil rights movement in the suites, not the streets, getting you to focus on what matters. And by the way, when you stop being angry all the time and being pissed off, you'll be happier. You'll live longer. You won't have a bunch of funny, pieces of streaks in your skin. You won't go all jacked up, and you'll be a nice person. And people like nice people. People invest in nice people. I like nice people. Love you. Peace out.